All right, fellas. Today we're going to talk about why being lean is a superpower. Now, say what you may, there is pretty much no transformations. Like transformations are just rare. Once you make a transformation, like everyone who makes a transformation on Instagram, they are now like just going. They're gonna go viral every single time, and they're just like inspiring so many people because it's very fucking rare. Everybody attempts it, everybody wants it, but the majority of people do not ever accomplish it ever, and I mean ever. Like just imagine people at your gym who've been telling you for years, like, yo, I want to lock in, I want to lock in. You might be someone who's been telling other people, yo, I want to lock in, this is my year, this is my year. And you just make countless excuses to why you can't get lean because at the end of the day, you can say it's genetics, you can say all this other stuff. It's just what you eat, bro. That's it. Now, this isn't for you if you're lazy, unable to delay gratification, uncoachable, not willing to commit for 6 months, which obviously it's a lifestyle, so you're going to commit longer than that. Consistently do goofy diets. And if you don't want to prioritize your health, set boundaries, and be serious about food, this is not for you. Now, you already know the problem. All right, this is what y'all be looking like. All right, y'all be in my comments cussing me out. And I'm like, listen, my clients are getting lean. I'm lean. All right, this is why you're mad. Period. This is why you're mad. So the problem is you're not happy with the way you look. You pick avatars in games that are lean, but you look nothing like those avatars. You avoid mirrors and photos. You pretend it doesn't bother you, but it does every day, and you're tired of pretending. Reality is life isn't gonna wait for you. All right, shit's gonna go on. All right, like shit's gonna be happening. People are gonna be getting opportunities. A lot of people will tell me like, "Yo, I need to lock in because I'm starting my business and I know how important it is to be, to get lean." And then it's a year later, they're still fat. All right, and then they're like, "Man, I'm struggling in my business." It's because they don't have the discipline to do what they need to do every single day. You see what I'm saying? And then when they meet someone, the person's not gonna take them seriously because it's like, "Oh, okay," they don't take themselves seriously. It's literally that deep. All right, it's literally that deep. Now opportunities are not going to pause, like I said, right? Like I said, I got hella homeboys who be getting opportunities just being in music videos and shit like that. Why? Because they're lean. Then they meet different people. Then they get these. It's like random opportunities. Like, oh, this company reaches out to you. You get more personal branding deals and stuff like that. Shout out to those in the Patreon who are getting those brand deals and shit like that. Just locking in, getting leaner. It's literally that's what happens. All right, attraction is not going to pause. Chicks are going to be around the dudes who are in shape. And those dudes are going to have confidence because they're keeping commitments to themselves. All right. So you're either going to take control of your life or you're going to fall behind. Most people are falling behind. All right. You're not maintaining. You're not maintaining. You're going to progress or you're going to regress. All right. There's no maintaining. So when you're lean, confidence is automatic, right? That's why it's so hard to tell people like, hey man, just be more confident. It's like, shit doesn't make any sense, right? When you go through the process of getting leaner, you go through the process of self-improvement in all aspects of your life, you keep commitments to yourself, you respect yourself, you set boundaries, that's just gonna make you more confident. It is what it is, right? And that's gonna make you more comfortable being alone too, because just like chicks, like here's the thing, law of attraction, right? When you don't necessarily when you're not necessarily desperate, right, and you're doing what you need to do, women are gonna be like, oh my God, it's like this guy must be, something valuable. They'll reach out to you first multiple times, and you really actually do not care. You're not faking it, right? A lot of you guys try to fake shit to make it. It's not gonna work. All right. A lot of you guys are like, well, I did what you said. I'm still waiting on her to text me back, and I'm like, yeah, you went to the gym and you ate healthy. That's very good. That was for one fucking day. You didn't start reading. You didn't change your mental diet. Like you're not going anywhere, son. You got way more work to do. All right. You gotta like your reflection. You're gonna walk differently when you do, and you're gonna enter rooms differently. All right, people are gonna follow you around every time, every single time. And I'm not, bro. I'm not even capping, bro. And I be wearing pump covers and stuff like that, trying to look like a bum. All right, I be going to the gym, and there's 7 Smith machines. I'm on one Smith machine that's like, you know, in the middle. I'm like, no one's gonna come near me because there's ones at the end. Chick comes right next to me and starts working out on a Smith machine, doing some hip thrusts, like every single time. Now, when you are lean, you stop living in your head. You start living in the world. All right. You're finally free. You're finally who you said you were going to be, right? It is a freeing feeling, but it's like I said, it's hard for you guys who have only been on one side. Most people have only been on one side of being lean. They've either been lean or they've always been fat, right? It's like, so people who are always been lean, they're like, this is kind of overrated, blah, 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 blah. People who have always been fat, they're like, I don't believe him. Can't be possible, right? But you're going to have, less anxiety around food, social events. You're not going to be hiding all the time anymore. You're not going to be comparing yourself to others because this journey is all about just improving yourself. All right, that's the main thing. That's the main thing about this journey, right? You're not gonna be overthinking your appearance. The thing is, I know a lot of people try to have like, some swag and get some Chanel and get some Gucci, bro. Everything on Amazon's gonna fit you when you're lean, bro. I'm not even capping. Cause y'all been asked. By the way, y'all been asking me like every time I would wear like a $3 shirt. You guys would be like, "Oh my gosh, like where'd you get that from? Where'd you get that from?" Listen, when I was in Thailand. I went on Lazada. I would get the cheapest shirt, or I brought it from Amazon. Like the cheapest shirt I could find, I just get it. And guess what? It's gonna fit when your shoulder waist ratio is hitting. It's literally that simple. All right. Because even like when I show up on dates, I wear like some cheap shit from fucking H&M. That whatever's on sale at H&M or Zara's, I'll just grab it. Right. And then I'll wear it on date night. They'll be like, "Oh my gosh, it looks so nice." Like, "Oh, where'd you get that from?" I'm like, I mean, this is different than what I usually wear and what I usually post and stuff like that. But it's just some basic ass shit because you could just dress off the mannequin and you're gonna look better than the mannequin. It is what it is. All right. A lot of times people wearing Gucci and they got they look like they're pregnant. Now, discipline is gonna show in all other areas of your life. I know some of you guys question it like, wait, how can it show up in other aspects of your life, bro? Like you're going to, because I the only reason I've interacted with millionaires and very very successful entrepreneurs is only because I've because I'm in shape. Like when I used to train people, they would respect that I have discipline, right? Because I trained a lot of millionaires, but they would respect that I have discipline to take care of my physique. That's the only thing they weren't, they didn't have discipline because they're running their own companies. They're running real estate companies. They're super successful, right? They have everything going. Like they literally are like, they would get upset about having like 100K a month. They'd be like, "Oh, it's such a bad month. Like, I haven't done this bad in a while. Like, I need to lock in." Like, that's how they would be, right? Because they're making 900K a year, 2 million a year, 1 million. Like, that's the people I've dealt with, and that's because I have the discipline with the fitness. So you'll get that, and then you also get, like I said, a lot of branding opportunities because you guys got to think about what commercials are. We all watch commercials growing up. Commercials are advertisement, right? Very very simple. Now, attention is currency. So when you are, you know, getting attention because they're like, "Oh wow, he looks unique." I don't see that a lot in my everyday life. That's how it's going to be when you're lean. Companies are going to start to reach out to you. No, not just a company saying 10% use a code or we're going to give you a code. It's going to be companies saying, "Hey, we'll pay you this much to put this product here in this video or put this product here in that video." You're going to start to get brand deals literally. Now, as far as like work, right? You're going to climb the ladder. You're going to become consistent at work. People are going to see your improvement. Your posture is going to be different. Your energy is going to be more controlled, intentional. All right. Your standards are going to go up as well. And you're going to stop tolerating average effort, which means you're going to do better at work, but you're also going to have more energy at work. One of the things people literally ignore when you're leaner, you have more energy, guys. You just do. All right. Now, maybe not the first time you get lean when you're on you're getting leaner, like you're getting to 9% for the first time. You've been on a long cut. You might be a little bit exhausted throwing your refeed days and stuff like that. But when you're main gaining and you're 8, 9, 10, 11, even 12%, when you're main gaining, you're going to have way more energy. All right. Now, people literally are going to respect you more. They're going to listen when you talk. They're going to assume leadership, right? They're going to view you as reliable because obviously you're doing what you need to do on a daily basis. Simple. You lost weight, but your presence gains weight. So attraction changes. All right. So obviously you're going to get noticed more. People are curious about you. You become desirable, exotic, all that shit because you're different. Now, this is the type of shit that this is the type of shit that I got so many stories about this, but this is the type of shit that I would see, right? It'd be like some chicks would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm on a break with my boyfriend," and she would hit me up and she would go on a date with me, be all over me, saying she's on a break with her boyfriend. And then, after we, did our thing or whatever, I'd be like, "Hold on, like, does he know you're on a break?" And she'd be like, "Well, I mean, I told him, because a lot of times, the out of shape, simpy dude, just realistically, he'll just be like, oh, okay, she needs a break from me or whatever, right? Because that's the situations I've been in. But then in reality, during that break, she's going to be going to chat in Tyrone, guys. And I know you guys hate hearing that, and you guys think it's cliche and shit like that, but it's just the reality. Your mindset is probably one of the most important things in this, and your identity is going to evolve. Your mindset is going to evolve because comfort, you don't care about comfort anymore, right? That shit has, you realize that comfort is literally the opposite of what you need to focus on to get to your goals, right? Because all your goals, everything that you want to achieve, the body game, all that stuff is on the other side of comfort, right? You have to be uncomfortable to get there. Growth requires discomfort. All right. You stop looking for shortcuts finally because it's the only way to not get to your goals. And you have pride because you're proud of yourself, which means you raise your standards to maintain and evolve consistently. And then you gain some actual real power. All right. The power of saying no, which is literally probably one of the best things to learn. And there's a good book called The Power of Saying No as well. But that's really going to help you set boundaries and be more intentional because when you have goals and you're intentional about them, and you want to reach them, guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to say no more, way more than you say yes. But when you say no to others, you're saying yes to yourself, which is important. You don't need validation anymore, right? You don't need instant gratification, right? You're controlled and you're disciplined. Now, your identity is going to change when you get lean, obviously. Your habits are going to sharpen. You're going to feel in control again. A lot of you guys want to get lean to feel in control. And that's what it is, because remember, guys, eating is something that you do every day. So if you fail every day, like if you fail eating every day, you feel like you have no control over it. You feel like a victim because you're failing every day, right? Just imagine literally racking up losses every single day. That's gonna hit you. That's gonna hit you, right? That's gonna hurt your confidence for sure. The hard truth. Staying out of shape is realistically, this is like not even my opinion. This shit's fucking harder. We're meant to move around. You're gonna look like shit. You're gonna know you look like shit. Everyone's gonna say you look like shit. Little kids, if it's like your niece or nephew, is gonna be like, "Hey, you fat." Like they see that shit. All right, they know that it's wrong. Depression is gonna be worse because it's like you're depressed and fat. Like you feel me? And a lot of times for dudes, it's really just that you're not moving around and you have inflammation and you feel sluggish. That's what's leading to it. All right, and obviously self-image and how other people see all that stuff. All right, the comfort lie that a lot of us are told and sold, right? A lot of people say they'll say I'll start Monday, which is just self-destruction. All right, they wait for motivation. That shit ain't working. You realistically, if you're like super motivated, you'll be motivated 6 months out the year, and that's impressive. That's really good. If you're motivated 6 months out the year, that is freaking crazy. All right, that's pretty impressive. All right, because realistically, most of the time I go to the gym, I'm not motivated. It's just part of the process. We brush our teeth every morning. Guess what? Some people don't want to brush their teeth. Pretty much none of us want to brush our teeth. Let's keep it a bean, right? But we want the results. So guess what? I mean, we want to not have stink breath and not fucking have gingivitis. So guess what we do? Brush our teeth. The gym is the same way. All right. Gym is the same way. Simple. You take a shit. Guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna wipe your ass. All right. Hopefully you're gonna wipe your ass. But yeah, that's just part of the process. That's how you got to think of the gym. It's like, I'm eating what I need to eat. I'm going to work out to gain muscle. Cool. I'm going to show up to the gym. That's just how it is for me. Most of the time I go to the gym, I probably don't want to be there. I always feel better after the workout though. And it's just part of my identity anyways. It's like going to work. Do you want to go to work every day? Probably fucking not. But do you? Yes. Now, the simple formula, right? Sleep 7 to 9 hours, strength train 4 to 5 times a week, track your calories. Okay, let's skip all this shit. All right, let's skip all this shit. The main focus here is these two things. All right, these two things. Once you track your calories, you're getting your micronutrients, macronutrients, you strength train, and you're seeing the progress. Right, you're gonna be like, you know what? What else can I pay attention to? Then, of course, you're gonna go to sleep, and you're gonna get the 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And then all of that is going to accelerate your results and really make you set boundaries. Because a lot of you guys don't get sleep because you say yes to a friend, or your mom calls you at night or something like that, or maybe your ex calls you and cries about her new boyfriend. Like, you got to set your boundaries. All right. Link is in the description for coaching. Stay locked in, fellas.